We just showed a video promo from the Hillsong United 2017 concert. This promo highlights what we think of when we think of musicians and artists and what it looks like to live your dream, the musician's dream, of being in front of thousands of people who are singing and loving the songs that you have created. So the question is, can you make a living from music? Can you make a career out of music? And this is a question that's asked every day by thousands of people who are talented but aren't sure exactly what to do and how to make music a career. Everybody loves music, and there are so many people who want to pursue music as a career. There are millions of musicians in the United States who make music a full-time job. We're able to speak about this because we are musicians and we've done a lot of research on the topic. The music industry has plenty of career opportunities for those interested in making music full-time. Understanding music history, the music industry jobs that are available, and how much work and effort you need to put into the music industry is key to having success and making music a full-time job.
According to BBC.com, researchers have identified what they say are the oldest known musical instruments in the world. Flutes made from bird bone and mammoth ivory. It also states that scientists used carbon dating to show that the flutes were between 42,000 years old. Now we know as Christians that that year is not right. Music has dated back to as early as Genesis in the Bible. Genesis 4:21 talks about Jubal the father who played the harp and the flute. Without the Bible, we honestly wouldn't be able to identify the first musician or the earliest instrument makers. According to collegegrad.com, being a musician involves performing for live audiences, auditioning for different positions in orchestras, bands, or even solo performing. It also includes traveling to different locations, booking venues, and promoting on social media or the internet. Working and being in music is something that has always worried me, being a worship leader myself. I always thought, how will I get paid? Or I won't make it big or anything like that. But I've learned that even though I have those worries, if you know that God is calling you to be in music and music makes you happy, there is no need to worry at all. So the number one thing you need to remember is that if God is calling you to do this, then do it.
So we've talked about how musical instruments are almost as old as sharpened sticks and fire for the human race. Music is something that's universal to us. Every single culture in human history has had a musical tradition. One of the best ways to connect to a culture, including your own culture, is to consume that music that has been inherited and passed down to you. So according to Forbes magazine, the average American spends 32 hours per week listening to music. Now 32 hours a week means that over a year, you're talking about 2 months spent listening to music. It's a lot of time that we as a culture dedicate to listening to music, and that goes a long way in saying how important it really is. Now, we know Americans spend a lot of time listening to music. Well, 68% of Americans, according to the Tennessean, have listened to Christian or gospel music within the last 30 days. One of the best evangelizing tools we have at our disposal is music. So, money is not the object when you're talking about a vocation. It's about what you're being called to do. But the average musician makes around $55,000 a year. That's a perfectly respectable income. And there are PhD graduate students who make less than that. So working within the music industry is a perfectly viable career path to go down. And the music industry as a whole, as we know, is worth $17.3 billion according to the IFPI. Now, with an industry that big, it means that you have a wide variety of opportunities to make a career in. There are everything from musicians themselves, people who write songs, you have lawyers that specialize in music law, to people who edit music videos. If you have a passion for this, any skills that you have can be applied to this industry. I myself am not a musician, but I did learn how to play saxophone in my high school band. It was a very valuable experience for me because not just being in a band, I found that my appreciation of music grew and my taste became much more complex. So music has something to offer to everyone, and the music industry has a wide range of opportunities to pursue.
As you can see, not only is music a well-used medium from centuries past, it is also a very profitable career as well. One such career was made by a band member of Hillsong United, the band from the video clip we just showed. In an interview with the Sweetwater Minute, musician, producer, and sound director Peter James spoke about his career. He started at Hillsong Church as a volunteer, and later he worked as a youth band member. He eventually climbed up the ladder until he was asked to join Hillsong United itself. Now, James not only went on to become a musician for the band, but he also became a producer, a sound director, which also gave him experience that he would never have had he not had that chance. He started small, but with perseverance, he joined one of the most famous Christian bands worldwide.
So taking into consideration the testimonial of Peter James, we see a real example of success in music. However, there are still many myths surrounding musical careers. For example, many people assume that musical careers don't provide steady income and may be an unreliable financial source. However, majoringinmusic.com argues that though a musician's income might not be the same each month, this is most likely due to most musicians having different areas and opportunities to make money, and these opportunities can vary from month to month. So while one month a band is on tour and an artist is making money from that, another month they may be giving lessons, recording at a studio, or a number of other things. This wide variety of ways to make money in music is an advantage because it includes many other things than just playing an instrument. This also leads to the myth that there isn't a variety in what you can do with a musical career. However, there are many roles vital to the creation and production of music. Here are some examples of some of the more behind-the-scenes roles. Recording engineers, producers, coordinators, administrators, product assistants, program directors, tour stage and personal managers, sound techs, publicists, and even concert promoters. The number and variety of these different roles that are each vital to the creation and production of music is an advantage to those pursuing a career in music and leaves so many options.
So Sarah hit on working and being a working musician or artist, and this is something that I personally have struggled with for years. I wasn't sure if I was going to run from it or if I was going to accept the call that I knew God had on my life. And I wasn't running from music because I was scared that I wouldn't be successful, but I was one of thousands who are told every day that music is not a career or that music will never be a viable source of income. But I can say firsthand that now that I've accepted the call that God has on my life, I've seen Him open doors that I never thought would have been open for me, and it can happen for you or for anybody who accepts the call of God on your life. I've seen the music industry inside and out, and I've seen how you don't have to just be a talented guitar player or a drummer or even a singer to be successful in the industry. We know now that there's plenty of options for those who want to do something outside of just being a musician. There's options such as producers, engineers, coordinators, sound techs. Anything that you want to do, you can do in the music industry. It has plenty for everybody. We know that it's a $17 billion industry, which means that there's plenty of money to be made in the industry. And so I hope today that you have learned about the music industry and that we have persuaded you to follow your dreams and use the gift that God has given to you